Back home, we used to call them whores. Hello, you fucks. Welcome to John Solo's Beard Brigade. I'm John Solo, and coming from a different location today, we have the lovely Melissa Gramling. Melissa, tell everybody where you are today.
I'm actually sitting next to your lovely assistant, Tracy, which she's going to come by and say hi.
I see. She's going to stick her head in right now. I
Yes,
see a
she is.
shadow coming across. Look at that. There we go. Hello.
See?
Hi, how are you? Coming to us from St. Louis, Missouri, or something like that. So
Yep.
you are visiting for the week.
Yes, I am.
I understand that
I'm-
it's a little weird sometimes because Bob walks around, Tracy's husband, in just his boxer shorts. Have you seen that happen yet? Have you seen Bob in the wild, so to speak?
He wears a robe in the mornings.
Ah, that's kind of like Hugh Hefner kind of level shit going on there.
Yeah.
Does he smoke a pipe too? Does he
No.
a robe and a pipe with his harem? Anyways, we have a big
Yeah.
show today. Looks like a moderate amount of releases.
I haven't listened to anything new because basically we had no power for 5 days because of a very bad hurricane that came through South Carolina and knocked out power and stuff. So what I'm reviewing is what I've listened to while we were on hiatus.
So wait, you had to go to Missouri to get power? Is that the way
No.
this worked?
We finally got power back
Mhm.
the day before I left.
Wow, that's a long time to go without power.
Yeah, and I was scrambling to get everything done that I had to get done before coming up here. Otherwise, I would have had to bring my laundry.
That would have been interesting. A big garbage bag we're bringing on the plane with you. That'd be awesome. Nice.
But I was able to do all that beforehand. So
No, I get it. Well, I'm glad that you're safe and sound. I'm glad that everybody's all right. I'm assuming the family's all right now too.
oh
Back
yeah,
in
they're
South
fine.
Carolina.
We have regular, real coffee and everything, but everything in the freezer and refrigerator died, so
Nice.
they got to restock.
Now, speaking of coffee, because we've spoken about this before, I feel that what you name as coffee is actually a milkshake. What kind of coffee do you normally drink?
Right now, Folgers Black Silk.
With cream, sugar, ice cream?
Yes.
What?
Cream and sugar.
No ice cream. I'm just
No.
checking. All right. Let's get into it here today. Our first release of the first catch of the day is Crossed Sticks, an M.M. Hurt Comfort hockey lacrosse romance. Buffalo Warriors Hockey Book 1 by Ryan Taylor and Joshua Harwood, narrated by Alexander Sindis. And I'm pretty sure they're talking about hockey sticks there, but I cannot 100% confirm.
Apparently hockey and lacrosse, so.
Right. They're crossing some sort of sticks. Next,
Yeah,
we
I'm sure.
had
Covington Acres, Bryer County, Book 4 by Riley Hart, narrated by Cale Williams and Sean Crisden.
Goodness, both in the same book. I'm going to
Yes.
release my crowd for a week for sure. By the way, that is Sean Crisden on the cover. I've confirmed. Next, we had Fire and Ice, the extended edition by Robin Lynn, narrated by Teddy Hamilton. And then we had
Dexterity Check, Dungeons and Dating Book 5 by Catherine McIntyre, narrated by Benjamin Filipovich. There we go.
I like what you did with the Philippines. That was pretty good.
Had to look it up on Farvo or English to find out how to say it this morning.
I understand. Then we had Apollo, written by Maya Rush, narrated by Leland Steele. And then we had
Bright Spring, Harmony of Seasons, and MM Fantasy Romance Series Book 1 by Emmeline. We're going to go with Emmeline Strange, narrated by Lance West.
You know, people get strange all the time. Then we had Parker's Forbidden Mate, the Umbra Pack Chronicles Book 1, written by Blake R. Wolfe, narrated by David Lane. Then we had
Only Unity Will Spare Us. Words are hard. The Magi Accounts Book 5 by Michelle Natoro, narrated by Zachary Saba.
Michelle Natoro. Been a while since I talked to her. Then we had The Merriest Misters, a novel. Written by Timothy Janofsky, narrated by Mark Sanderlin and Zach Barella. After that, we had
Rough Pages by Evander Mills. No, not by Evander Mills. Apparently, it's a series, I guess. By Lev A.C. Rosen, narrated by Vicus Adams.
Vicus or Vicus? I'm not sure.
I'm going to go with Vicus.
Yeah, let's go
I
with
haven't
that.
heard otherwise.
It sounds like something that you would use when you have a cold and you rub all over your chest.
That's a big safer rub.
And we had Red Haze, Caffeine Daydreams, Book 3, written by Lark Taylor, narrated by Joel Leslie and Dan Calley. Dan Calley. Then we had
The Trouble with Trying to Date a Murderer, Murder Sprees and Mute Decrees, Book 1 by Jennifer Cody, narrated by Little Kevy Earlywine.
Lil Kevy Earlywine. I think that he should just use Lil Kevy Earlywine as his actual pseudonym. That would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, we should tell him that.
After that, we had Showmance, a novel written by Chad Begulin, narrated by Michael Crouch. What is up with a novel lately? I guess that's
I
Amazon's tag.
don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be an Amazon tag. After that,
Standalone.
we had
Road to a Cowboy, Windsor, Wyoming, Book 2 by Amy Aislinn, narrated by Aaron Hokinson.
Hawkinson. I think, isn't that like the Hawk 2? Anyways.
No.
And then we had The Pretenders of Copper County by May Archer, narrated by Chorizo himself, Michael Dean, which is lovely. It looks like you did a lot of books that you have listened to over the course of the last year.
Just 3.
So we're going to get into everybody's favorite part. This is what little Alyssa Gramling listened to and reviewed, and I will shut up and not say a word. First, we had...
First was Sent to a Fantasy World, Now All the Men Want Me, Volume 1 by Jacqueline Osborne, narrated by Nick J. Russo. And I gave this one 4 bullets. Evan is a bookworm, and I'm pretty sure he either works at a pastry shop or at a coffee shop. Can't remember which one right offhand. But he goes to a fair or a festival of sorts, and where there's a strange building that someone with magical powers owns and operates, and it gives him a wishing stone where he wishes where he could be somewhere where he belongs, and wakes up in the fantasy world, and basically, just as the title says, all the men pretty much want him or want to be around him. And it's just a fun why choose book. It's basically like harem, because he ends up with multiple 5, I think, mates.
Can you define what you said? Why choose? Is that
Yeah.
a trope that I've never heard before?
It's, I guess, fairly new trope, yeah. But it's like you don't really have to choose; you just go with all of them.
Back home, we used to call them whores.
God.
just joking with you. We didn't. We would get smacked for that.
But yeah, and you get to meet a new mate in each book. There's 3 so far, 3 books so far, but we have met at least 4 mates.
That's a lot of mates.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds unhealthy.
But Nick does an amazing job, and there's this little demi cat named Kuya, and he talks in the third person. So excitable, loves cake.
Well, who doesn't? Yeah.
You probably just heard Tracy laughing in the background.
It's pretty reasonable, I think. That's
she's got the giggles this morning.
Tracy also likes cake. Nice. Well, I obviously Nick, I'm sure, did a fantastic job on this.
Yes, he did.
Speaking of my nemesis, the next one up here.
Yes, Never Say Goodbye. 5 bullets and 5 stars.
Hey-o.
By Felice Stevens and Cale Williams. I loved it. Couldn't put it down. And it's just about a wildlife photographer and an airline pilot who end up snowed in a hotel for one weekend and hit it off, but um every so often they meet up and have some extremely hot times. We'll say about that. Kale did a fan-fucking-tastic job with this book, and he still makes his little pretty noises.
Yeah, my nemesis Kale. Every time he comes out with a release, I lose my crowd. And we love Felice to death, too. It's been a while since I've seen you, Felice. Hopefully you're doing well. Finally, your last book.
Yes. Step Bet by Riley Hart and Devin McCormick, narrated by Tim Page. This one also is 5 bullets because, well, Step Brothers.
Wait.
at-
Stop. I have questions. Is there... So whenever there are stepbrothers involved, that's a hot point for you, which means 5 bullets,
yes.
which there's like an
Well, not
Amazon truck that
necessarily. It
shows up.
it could end up being a bullet breaker.
Right. That's when the Amazon truck pulls up and there's sirens on the top of it. It's like emergency delivery. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, of bananas and water. Atlas and Tony are at the same college, and they make a bet with each other that if, I guess, one of them has to ace a geography or some class, I cannot remember which class it was, but if he aces his midterm, the other one gets a blowjob.
That's
So,
one way to get through school. Yeah.
yeah, and to win a bet. It's been a while since Riley and Devin have written a book together, and this one was amazing. The second book is out, but not the audio yet. And Tim does a wonderful job with this one, and I can't wait for the second one.
How is it listening to stepbrothers going at it in the book narrated by Spider-Man? That's a good question.
He makes pretty noises as well.
I thought so. Yeah, Mary Jane seemed very satisfied. You did a wonderful job, as always, putting this together. I'm glad that you are safe and sound and you have power and you're with Trace, so all's fine. I'm sorry you have to put up with Bob. Good luck with that. But yeah, thank you, everybody, for hanging out. We appreciate you. Enjoy yourselves.
And we'll be back home next week.
Yep. Have fun. Love you all. Peace.
Bye.